Hi, this is Randeep Hooda and you're watching Bollywood Hungama with Faridoon.
मेरा नाम पूरी दुनिया में घूम रहा है. Well, that's what Sarbjit says at a very poignant moment, I'm sure, in the movie, and that's what we see in the trailer. And we have with us the man himself, Randeep Hooda, जिनका नाम पूरी दुनिया में भी फैल रहा है because of his enormous talent. Randeep Hooda, honor to have you on Bollywood Hungama once again.
Always a pleasure
बड़ी
to be on
मुश्किल
your
से
show,
आप हाथ में आए हैं बहुत दिनों के बाद.
मैं वो कबूतर हूँ जो उड़ता रहता है, बैठता नहीं है कहीं पे. Because I work a lot. I mean,
You're not well recently as well.
Yes, I had an appendix operation. It almost burst. I was shooting for Sultan, and I told Ali that, bro, I've got a lot of pain and all that, so don't make me do anything strenuous. So, but there were so many stairs I had to climb in that Bawari in Delhi that it got worse, and then I had to be rushed, and they just operated before it burst. If it had burst, it would have been a longer complication, and it can be fatal. But I guess somebody's looking after me.
No, absolutely, and I think you're looking fantastic as well. Now, will you say Sarbjit is your finest performance yet? Because your first look when it came out, it was applauded like anything. People were totally just flabbergasted that how can you just lose so much of weight and you're looking altogether different from what you actually do.
Well, I don't know whether it's my finest performance or not. That time will tell. I mean, all performances, all movies and roles that I pick up, I do put in my heart and soul for each one of them. But I guess people need to see it right in such a physical, drastic change to kind of recognize it. But I've done this for many movies, not so much of weight loss, and to tell you the truth, the weight loss and all are a very superficial part of the performance. It's not the mainstay of the performance. The mainstay was more about, how do you play somebody who's been in a Karl Kotri for 18 years, chained in his legs and his hands. So that was a harder part. I think I went through same rigorous thing for Highway also, for Mayor Charles also. There's a whole overhaul of personality in Mayor Charles, though it was not so emotionally driven, but there were aspects in it which were very dark. And to approach that in the whole accent and everything. I have done it in Lal Rang. People think that, he's a Haryana, he can do it. No, bro. I have not lived in Haryana for a very long time. And it was, again, a very emotional part, rather. It required a lot of soul searching, and so did Sarbjit. So, I don't know. I mean, it's not in an actor's hand to say that this is his defining performance or that is his defining performance. You just do your best and hope that they edit it well and put enough sound and, they make a good enough movie. That's all you can hope, because at the end of the day, an actor is the last cog in the wheel. It's really like that till it comes out and till we get a larger feedback. You can never tell.
When it comes to Randeep Hooda, there's several perceptions. We'll talk about the movie very shortly. At one point of time, people say that he's highly underrated and he's yet to get his due. At the same time, when you came up in Once Upon a Time in Mumbai, you had a rough time before that as well, and that particular performance, which was not advertised at all, but it got you like an amazing feedback somehow.
I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah. So how do you look at this entire situation? At one point of time, you said that he's highly underrated. He's yet to get his due. And at the same time, you've had a very good run since Once Upon a Time in Mumbai.
I've been very fortunate. I mean, to get a second chance after the so-called first chance that I got with D and Risk and all those movies. They were very nice movies. But then, coming from a smaller town, one does not know how to plan a career. Your ambition is to star in and as a gangster, we're grown up watching gangster films. And here I was in my first movie, I was playing in and as Dawood Ibrahim. So I had no ambition left, and I think that was a big part of me going downhill. After that, I had no ambition left. I didn't know what to do. So I kept doing movies which really did not amount to much, though they were very good movies in my opinion. But then Once Upon a Time gave me another lease of life in the industry, so-called. And since then, the kind of appreciation I have got, I don't think any other actor has got that kind of appreciation, or any other actor has had the opportunity to work in such diverse genres or diverse roles as I have. So I really count my blessings every day, and I think I'm in a very good space. Where the underrated part and all that comes in, I don't know. There is a whole politics that surrounds a film or surrounds the film industry about, who's got the biggest share of the pie and all that. That happens. Right. But I have always tried to rise above it by, do your work so well that none of that can affect you. So that is, I think, my sincerity towards my work, and actually the love for my work. I don't know, we were having a conversation at some press conference, and they were asking Aishwarya about her taking the role back home. And she very rightly said, I've got a kid, I've got a family, I've got other commitments, and I can't take the role back home, otherwise my life will suffer. And that's where, standing on the stage, I realized, hey, I don't have a life. My work is my life. And if that is the case, then I think I'm the luckiest human being and luckiest actor in the world, because I really get doled out a lot of love and adulation from the experts of cinema and the enjoyers of cinema, both alike, and I'm very thankful.
In fact, I was telling you shortly, we were in Egypt recently, and very few, they're madly in love with Indian movies, and at the same time, they have a very select, brand of superstars that they're totally in love with, Mr. Bachchan and Shah Rukh and Salman. But at least one girl, Egyptian girl, she actually took your name, and I was a bit surprised that they're not taking some of the other superstars' name, but they're taking. And
because they're probably talking from the audience point of view.
Shah Rukh Khan, Randeep Hooda.
Randeep Hooda, you like? My God, they've got eclectic taste as well. And I can also tell you, like, at least one more Italian blogger that I know of for quite some time. It's called Cinema Hindi, from what I remember, and it's an Italian girl, and she's a huge fan of yours. For quite some time, I've been.
Well, I'm very thankful.
But she has a very good taste as far as movies concerned, and it's not merely that she likes you. She likes a lot of other underrated in a way what who are called actors as well. But Randeep Hooda is definitely one of her favorites. So somewhere you are percolating to various stratas of the world audience as well.
Well, that is a very big boost, because I think deep down inside, every artist's desire is to reach out to as many people as possible. And I think if that is happening, then again I'm very grateful about that. There is a perception and there is reality. So that's the difference, I guess. Perceptionally, maybe in the Indian film industry, within it, I might not be the but the audience over there, they're thinking that, and I'm very grateful. Not that I'm saying that I am, but hey, I'm grateful that you think of it.
Now, talking about Sarbjit, in terms of the physical transformation, you've spoken about the weight loss. At the same time, the facial hair and teeth as well. I think उसमें भी आपने कुछ certain I think for aging up and all these things as well. How difficult was it, the entire makeup part of it, and getting the real?
Oh, it was a pain in the ass, literally.
We won't beep that. We won't beep that.
Please don't beep me. It's a pain in the fucking ass.
You're right. Thank you so much.
Because
you can still go more.
Yeah, because what happens is that there was a 7 o'clock shift. I'll be there at 5 o'clock, and after the shoot is done, I'll be there for another hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm very thankful for the patience and the talent of my makeup artist Renuka Pillai, who very diligently went through it. We started preparing.
Is she a regular makeup artist, or was she
yes.
Okay.
No, she's regular. She in fact went to LA to study the aging process and all those things. We went to Canada for when Biba Boys was screened in the Toronto International Film Festival, and there we decided upon these teeth, and I got the impressions done and all that. So that was 6 months in advance. So there was a lot of work that went behind it, and it's not just me alone. The weight loss part it became so drastic because they were supposed to shoot the village portions first, where I'm hatta katta and all that, but then due to some reasons, God knows what, I don't even want to know, because I was not very happy with that you have to drop this much weight in this much time. So, but since I had committed to it, and I had a vision in my own head about what Sarbjit should look like in prison, I went through it, and that the time it took to shed that weight is far more difficult than the actual weight that I shot. But all those things have been talked about. Hey man, you playing somebody who suffered so much, I think you should suffer a little. If it's not for your part, just do it out of respect for the character you're playing.
Right.
And I think that sense of respect and the sense of authenticity that I tried with the help of the family and the script and whatever material that I could get onto, I think that has paid off, because they haven't showed the film to the family, but I showed them bits and pieces of before he went to prison. I did not want to show them the prison part of it. Before he went to prison, and they were clapping and laughing and rolling around in the dubbing theatre, and that was my reward. And they said, hey, then Sukhpreet, his wife, who hardly ever speaks, she was telling me how, ऐसे ही करता था, photo लेता था, ये करता था, मेरे ये लगाता था, वो लगाता था. So all that information that I had accumulated over a period of time about him really paid off. And I think that was my reward, that in the dub, they all were like laughing and crying and being teary-eyed at the same time, that was for me the moment. Now I'm not really attached to the result of the film or my performance or anything, because I really always try in authenticity to capture what the spirit of the thing is, and I think I managed that, and that for me is enough. Same happened with Charles Sobraj. The day he told me and the people who used to go visit him in jail, and the French from the French government who liaison with all the French prisoners across the world, when they saw the movie and stuff, and their feedback was a winner for me. I did not need anybody else to point out that, because it's a personal thing. It's between you and yourself. Nobody else is involved. And that is, I think, where the work lies, and I think that is where also the victory lies.
You got unanimously very positive reviews for Charles, and but does it hurt you that I'm sure it does when it doesn't translate into box office results? Do you feel that maybe certain movies can be maybe marketed differently and maybe presented differently?
Yes, of course. I think what I have suffered most of my career is not the content of the films, not the quality of the films, but how to get them across. Since they are not your run-of-the-mill movies, to put them across, it requires a certain kind of intelligent marketing. You cannot follow the same thing कि पहले ट्रेलर रिलीज कर दो, फिर ये गाना आएगा, फिर प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कर लो, फिर ये कर लो, इस शो पे चले जाओ और वहाँ चले जाओ. Because the material itself is something which you have to engage and start an exchange with the audience very early to kind of get that into fore. That is where I think my movies have suffered. But I guess everybody's trying to do their best. Like even Lal Rang suffered because it was pitched as a movie which was totally different to what it was. People who have gone seen it, I think the kind of repetition of dialogues and gestures that I have got out of that movie from the limited amount of people who've seen it, it's really cult. But they marketed it as any other movie, and I guess it was a lack of experience, not a lack of intention. I would not say that it is a lack of intention. I've been at the receiving end for most of my career, but success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. I'll do these movies again and again and again until somebody figures out a way to do it. But I guess I would somewhere, because I don't involve myself in anything. Once I've done my performance, I move away from it.
And then you do like a Kick and it goes like past 200 crores and you're doing...
Yeah, Kick. People love me in Kick, but there was something of a Once Upon a Time in Mumbai also there. So for me, though it is my most watched work, I guess, because of the presence of Salman Khan and Sajid Nadirwala making it, for me as an artist, it didn't go further for me.
Alright, इंसानियत वाला रिश्ता है, लेकिन वो हमारे दोनों मुल्कों में चलता कहाँ है? Do you feel it's like a defining moment as far as the movie is concerned as well, that somewhere this entire schizophrenic relationship that India and Pakistan have, they would like to like each other but they still can't.
I have a bigger theory that if there was no conflict between our countries, then why would we need these F-16s and submarines and helicopters and all these things? I think the conflict is kept alive by other bigger powers so that they can keep selling weapons, because their whole economy runs on selling weapons. Okay. Selling weapons is their biggest boost or biggest thing behind their economies.
You're talking about America?
I'm talking about not just America, there's a lot of other countries. France is one of the biggest manufacturers, England is. All these people who go and fight for these forces when the conflict happens, whichever country sends their forces is one of the ones who are contributing to that conflict. Why is it that with ISIS they find American weapons? Why is it with Taliban they were only American weapons? So obviously there is a bigger conspiracy theory to place, and I think it is an unfortunate thing that happened, that in 1947 two equally ambitious leaders of ours chose not to step back and not let the other one become the prime minister, and right. The British divided it. And somewhere I personally feel that although Mahatma Gandhi was shoved to the side in decision making, but if he was going on these fasts until death, why didn't he go for fast until death when our countries were divided? Because that's
a mystery actually. By
tens and lakhs of people died. More people died in that than they died in the Holocaust. And still people are dying. There is a line that was drawn at a will and fancy of somebody. And same thing with Sarbjit's field. So many people, their fields are in Pakistan. They go through the fence, take a permission, go there and they do their job and come back. The same country. It has been divided. And now there is so much animosity, so much propaganda that goes on between the two nations. Politically driven, completely politically driven. You ask a Pakistani or a Hindustani who's got any sense, has got some sort of a humanity or education, they'll say we are the same people.
A sense of reason as well.
The sense of reason. And that is what this man, Sarbjit, suffered for 18, no, 23 years. He was convicted under the name of Manjeet Singh Rattu, whose FIR was filed 1 month before he was caught. For 18 years, he was in prison as convict for 5 terrorist attacks in Pakistan, where 14 people died. For 18 years, he was under that thing, and his saza was first he was given saza-e-maut, which was then cancelled by Musharraf, and then for 18 years, after 18 years, he got his name back. Then 26/11 happened. Then they hung Kasab. Then they hung Afzal Guru. When they hung Afzal Guru, they killed him. There was hope. Kargil happened. There was hope. Something else happens. Similarly, with this Hamid Ansari case, this Pathankot has happened. It's delaying the fucking thing. Why? Because people on both sides are the same, man. And between the political situations or the one-upmanship between these two countries, innocent people are suffering. And Sarbjit is an example of that. And Sarbjit as a film is a message to the people that, hey, let's not let another Sarbjit happen.
Randeep, huge pleasure to have you once again, and looking forward to talking to you very soon for Do Love Zoe Kahani. So thank you, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.